In American soccer, there is this absolutely crippling belief in a myth that soccer is not a huge sport here, that it's a baby sport, and therefore we need to give it special treatment or special training wheels, put it on life support in order for it to survive. Hence our closed shop U.S. system, which gives control of the U.S. Soccer D1 sanction to one single company club, MLS, and our failure to align with the open system norms seen around the world. So we use this myth that soccer is a baby sport as an excuse to not align with the modus operandi of open access soccer around the world. So the reason we fall for this myth that soccer is not a huge sport is because of how U.S. sports work and how they are deeply, deeply embedded in the mainstream media, mainstream sports media consciousness. So if you look at coverage on television, major sports networks, news networks of sports, well, what do you see typically? Well, it's dominated by NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, college football, college basketball, and soccer is, at least U.S. domestic soccer is very rarely covered. Sometimes you'll see some foreign soccer and some World Cup, but for the most part, if you judge sports in America based on what you see in the mainstream media, it's going to tell you that soccer is not as big as the other U.S. sports. But when you break down the raw numbers of America, and when you survey the landscape of America, go to various U.S. cities, various pockets of our country, you will find that if you pull everything together, America does indeed have a very, very strong base for soccer. There is a huge soccer-first community made up of players, coaches, fans, all over the country. But because of our system, which does not leverage this massive potential, we don't see it in our mainstream. The product we have right now for U.S. domestic soccer and our pinnacle is MLS, and it's closed shop franchise soccer, which no one is interested in. It disenfranchises 99% of the USA soccer ecosystem, and less than 7% of American soccer TV viewers tune in. And so therefore, well, why would the mainstream sports or news networks cover this? There's no reason to. So because there's no U.S. soccer domestic presence in our U.S. sports media, then people assume that, soccer is not big. What if you turn the tables? What if you opened the USA soccer system with promotion relegation? What if you leveraged the other 95% of the U.S. soccer market that we're missing right now? What if we allow all people and clubs to compete and strive for Division I? All of a sudden, you'd see popularity, interest, and investment in U.S. domestic club soccer skyrocket. And as things skyrocket, as more money is involved in the game, TV rights go up, more demand for coverage in the media, well, all of a sudden, guess what? If you watch ESPN SportsCenter or something like that, you're going to see soccer with just as much coverage as any of the other U.S. sports like NFL, football, or basketball, NBA. So again, we get into this situation where we confuse MLS with normal soccer. Americans love normal soccer. We have the raw materials for a great soccer nation. We have the fans, the players, the wealth and infrastructure, the fields, the stadiums, everything you could want for a world-class soccer nation we've got here in abundance. 24 million soccer players. Again, even if that's off by a few million, it's still an absolutely astounding number of soccer players here in America. And you'd have to think that we have at least 30 plus million soccer-first fans here, if you pull everything together. So as far as the soccer demographic in our 330 million person population, we've got it. Soccer is at least on par with the other major sports in the USA. Because we have so many people, we have room for more than one major sport. We have this myth where, oh, well, because soccer is not the only show in town, like other nations, say Europe, where it's only soccer, rugby, and something like cricket, maybe a little bit of basketball. Soccer's at a disadvantage here because there's all these other sports competing for attention. Well, that's fine. We're the size of Europe. We have, like I said, 330 million people here. Plenty of consumers, fans, participants to go around. And as I mentioned, with 24 million players, as you can see, a big chunk of America is into soccer. So, again, we've got to get past this defeatist mindset, crippling mindset of soccer is up against it here in America. Once Americans truly grasp the full potential of American soccer that is being wasted right now or is being untapped, we will be ready to make huge strides as a soccer nation and finally reach, which I think, our potential state, which is a global soccer juggernaut. If you go around to different major metro areas, even smaller cities in America, you will find this soccer first demographic, whether it's Latino Sunday leagues, pickup games in the inner city. I'm here in Minnesota, USA, Minneapolis, St. Paul, pretty big metro area, top 20 metro area in the USA. If you go into our urban areas here in Minneapolis and St. Paul, you will find the soccer first demographic. You just need to know where to look. You have to go explore and learn, meet people, and you will see that we have a world-class soccer market that's already here. It's simply not being reached. It's not being included in this discriminatory U.S. soccer closed system. Everything is rigged so that MLS interests come first. And that trickles down to only players who can afford thousands of dollars of fees every year, youth players. They're the only ones who get the good training opportunities. And what do you know? We struggle at the senior level with our national team and with our club talent pools. So, again, the key barrier we've got to overcome as a soccer nation is the education barrier. We've got to learn and really grasp our true American soccer potential, what we're missing out on here in America. The ingredients are here. We just need our governing federation to step up, put the right policy in place, a 100% open U.S. soccer ecosystem with promotion and relegation, and from there you just let the market mobilize and regulate it so things stay fair. Again, you got to watch over the ecosystem, but just open the ecosystem and let everyone have a fair shot to compete, and you will see the innovation, the investment, the interest increase take care of itself. So we're just one governing policy change away from reaching 5% of our U.S. soccer potential to reaching 100% of our U.S. soccer potential. I know it's not going to be perfect in every area. There are always going to be failures. But no one's saying this is a panacea, 100% perfection. What we are saying is we'll get you to the 95+% mark. That can truly put us in running for the greatest soccer nation in the world. So soccer is not a baby sport. Soccer is not a small sport here. It's simply a poorly governed sport. So let's change that and watch American soccer reach its true potential. So if you like this video, make sure to share it out across social media and also subscribe right here to my channel. And I'll talk to you soon.